Good morning and welcome to Crypto Charts Daily. This is the Crypto Charts Daily Report. Today is Tuesday, September 16th, 2025. Let's get right into it. The market cap still sitting at $4 trillion. CMC20 increasing here a little bit. Fear and greed sitting neutral still. Altcoin season still at a 70 out of 100, and the average crypto RSI is still oversold. If I sound nasally, I'm sorry. Just getting over a sickness. Now let's get right into the technical analysis. Starting the day off, obviously with Bitcoin, we want to see a break of this high that broke this minor low here. We want to see a break of this high of about 117,300. And if we end up closing above this high on the day, I would like to see a push to highs or test this order block some more. We fail to see strength here and we end up closing bearish on the day, or we start to see weakness in the next few days, I just expect price to go test these lows. Ethereum, we could still see trading in between that support and resistance here, getting rejected at this 4-hour order block. And now we're heading back down to test support. So again, guys, over the next few days, just look to see how we react to these lows, this support. And if we end up closing bullish above the highs of about 4,700, we'll just look for continued strength. If we end up disrespecting and closing in this order block or in this support or below even the support, then obviously we will look for the test of higher time frame support. XRP, we did get rejected out of that higher time frame resistance, this bigger order block here. And now we will look for the close above $3.18. But if we continue to be bearish on the day, we will just look for the retest of that support at 284. Jumping into the altcoins, we have Binance Coin, again, just accumulating into that blow off. We'd like to see continued strength to break highs and test higher time frame resistance. But if we start closing bearish on the day, I would look for a test of this higher time frame support. Solana, same thing, looking for a continuation of strength to test resistance. But if we end up closing bearish over the next few days and not respecting this support, we'll go test this higher time frame support. Cardano, we did break and retest this support, and now we're just going to look for continued strength past the highs of about 95 cents. If we close bearish though, again, look for this support to test again. Chainlink, we swept this high, testing this higher time frame resistance zone, and now we are testing this support and resistance flip right here. So if we don't get strength out of this area in the next few days to push past highs and test resistance, if we end up closing bearish below the low of $21, I'd expect price to run down to this higher time frame support. But again, if we do end up closing above $25, look for the break and retest of $26. Stellar Lumens, we broke below resistance and now we tested that resistance at 40 cents here. We did close the daily candles below this resistance, so now we will just look again to see how it reacts to this resistance. If we continue to get rejected, we'll make a push for lows at 34 cents. And if we close above on the day and push past this high of now 41.3, we'll look for the break to higher time frame resistance or the break and retest of this support. Avalanche, again, breaking structure to the upside, and now we're looking for continued strength over the next few days to go test higher time frame resistance. But again, if we end up closing now below the lows of $28 or perhaps below all of this imbalance here, we'll end up going to test higher time frame support. Hedra, we did end up wicking on the day yesterday. That's a great sign. Wicking on this break and retest of this now resistance turns support. We'll look for the break of highs of 25.40 to then go test highs and higher time frame resistance. Jumping down on the 4-hour time frame on Hedra, we could see the support turned resistance, and now we broke back above the resistance and hopefully turned support again. But if we end up closing again below support on this day, it'll turn resistance and we'll look for the rejection. But for now, again, look for the break of these highs or continued strength for our break and retest. Polkadot getting rejected at these highs. We are just looking for a fill of this imbalance and a test of this support order block here. So over the next few days, just look for the highs to break and look for continued strength, or look for their test of this support. Uniswap, we are just testing this support, sweeping early buyers that bought this order block first. Now we swept the early buyers that failed to push past highs, and now hopefully we'll see some bullish order blocks or some strength to then go push past these highs, and that would be a beautiful change of character. So if we end up closing the day bullish or getting some strength, look for the break of those highs. If we end up closing in or below this order block, again, we'll go run down and test higher time frame support. If we do break this high, though, it will be a very strong change of character, especially after sweeping out these early buyers. Ondo Finance, we are getting the break and retest of that dollar zone. Looks like a strong retest if we could close the day bullish here, or even in the next few days break the highs of $1.13 here. If we close bearish, though, just look for this support to hold price up. If we break below it or close below it on the day, though, look for the break below and the retest of now resistance here. Polygon, nothing new, guys. Still just looking for a test of support or the break and retest of this 30-cent zone. Algorand, same thing. We got the test of support. We got a strong push off support, got rejected at resistance, and now we're just looking to test this support one more time. There is early buyers, much like Uniswap, I think, where we could come down and sweep these early buyers and test this 4-hour or this higher time frame support more. But again, guys, look for strength here to push past the highs of about 26 cents. And if we close below this support, it will then become resistance and we'll look for the retest. Quant got rejected at the high, so now we will look for the break of 105. If we end up closing below about $95, I would look for the test of this higher time frame support. If we do end up closing bullish, though, above that 106 zone, look for the higher time frame resistance test. IOTA, same thing, testing this order block that failed to break highs, testing the support. So again, look for the close above about 20 cents here for the push to highs. If we end up closing below this order block of 17 cents, though, look for the test of higher time frame support. XDC, absolutely nothing new, trading between the support and resistance perfectly, and we will look for the retest to then go push back to 10 cents. All right, guys, that concludes the Crypto Charts Daily Report. If you enjoyed this type of in-depth technical analysis, share this with your friends that you told to FOMO in at highs. Like, comment, and subscribe. Help me beat the AI bot accounts and the YouTube algorithm. All right, guys, thank you and peace out.